subscribe. Darling Radio, like and subscribe.
Who started this whole big trend of foundational Black America and American descendants of slavery? Why is this a thing? Why are we at war with this thing? If nothing else, I guess I would be an American descendant of slavery. Did y'all know that slavery started in the Caribbean before it came to America? Those slave ships used to stop on what's now considered the island of St. Vincent. Did you guys not know that there was slavery also in Jamaica, Panama, Cuba, Venezuela, Haiti, Nicaragua, Belize, Guatemala, and that we were all on the same slave ship, but some of us got dropped off at different ports? But as I stated before, the slavery prototype was from the island of Barbados. It started there first before it even came to America. And now I have people in my comments telling me that, oh, I'm not black, and that all of my I can't talk on black men. I can talk on y'all because I date y'all, because I'm black too. So let me give y'all some history because y'all are a little confused between ethnicity and race. So let's talk about that first. So, as a child born in New York at Harlem Hospital, can't get no blacker than that. Today I took out my weave. If you go to my other video, you saw me being unbelievable. I took off my weave and I got me a wrap, a doobie. If you know, you know. Black. I got a whole weave up in my hair. Black. Not like white people don't wear weave, but we're not talking about them. I'm talking about me and my blackness, and y'all telling me that I'm not black enough. So, in Harlem Hospital, Black Hospital, where I was born, in 1970, my birth certificate says that I am a single female child, H for Hispanic, because Latino was not a thing. Latino was a new term. So I guess Latinos are processing along the same way as black people. Because you used to be Negroes, then you were black, then two other things now. Well, colored, we're not going to go through it. Now African American. But this term FBA got y'all losing your minds. Because slavery was started in the Caribbean before it even came to America. We were enslaved just as you. We all fought for to make it where we are. Some of the greatest civil rights activists have been of Caribbean descent, like Shirley Chisholm, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Kwame Ture Stokely Carmichael, aka Stokely Carmichael, Maya Angelou of modern day Maya Angelou. So Caribbean people have played a significant role in the advancement of FBAs. And there are many that I haven't mentioned, but I'd be more than happy to do a list. But I don't know why.
I had a video that I posted on my profile of this Latina woman. And boy, she was complaining about FBA. Is one of them TikTok videos. They are crashing out on TikTok. Us using the designation foundational Black American, and now thousands and thousands and thousands of people are now using it. Boy, that really ruffles feathers. And this woman was complaining and still trying to co-opt, because the name of the game, they're frustrated. People are getting frustrated because they can't co-opt it. That's where this frustration is coming from. They can't co-opt it. And this woman, she was talking about, well, I'm technically I'm a descendant of American slaves because my people were enslaved in the Caribbean, and she started talking about she's Hispanic and Caribbean and all of this stuff, so she's technically a descendant of slaves. You see, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, that term isn't tight enough. See, that's why American descendants of slaves, it's cool in certain conversations, but I realized that wasn't tight enough. It wasn't Trump tight enough. These words gotta be tight. These words gotta be solid so that nobody can crowbar into it. You understand? And unfortunately, a lot of folks can use American descendants of slaves who are not of this lineage, who were enslaved in the Caribbean. They can actually try to use that. If they were down in South America, they can say, well, I'm a descendant of slaves in South America. And that's technically American. They can play that game. They can say, well, they were descendants of slaves in Jamaica. And they do that. That's why a lot of the tether class who try to undermine us, a lot of them don't have too much of a problem with the ADOS thing. They don't have a problem with that because they know that can low key be co opted. They have a major problem with FBA. That can't be co opted at all. You understand? American descendants of slaves can be co opted. And I am the one, as you all know, I popularized that term. Strappy and Tone Tits, they got it from Norris Sheldon. It was a FBA brother named Norris Sheldon who came up with descendants of American slaves. Strappy and those guys got it and then just turned the words around and said, okay, American descendants of slaves. They got it from Norris Sheldon. They didn't create it. They didn't create that, just to be very clear. What Tone and those guys did that was very smart, and I give credit where credit is due. I will give credit where credit is due. What they did, because at the time we would already talk about lineage, I would just use the term Native Black American. And I would just spell it out. If I wrote it on Twitter, I would spell the whole thing out, Native Black American, because I got that from our great brother, Dr. Claude Anderson, who'd been using it for damn near 40 years. Because that's where we really got a lot of delineation language from our good brother, Claude Anderson. He's been on this vibe, and that is my mentor. Give credit where credit is due. Give credit where credit is due. So I would always use the term Native Black American. So Tone and Strappy, they did something extremely smart. They just made it into a hashtag. So now we can say what we had to say and we wouldn't use up all our characters on Twitter. So we use ADOS. I said, okay, that's cool. That's the same thing we're talking about. That works. Let's use that. I started blowing up the ADOS hashtag because now I can't put NBA because they'll think we're talking about the Basketball Association. And it took too many characters to type Native Black American. It used up all the characters. So ADOS was great. Great thing. Shout out to y'all. That was great. Then strapping them and they start everything up. It turned into some bullshit. They start telling because whenever I talked about ADOS, I'm talking about a lineage. I've never, ever, 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 ever co-signed no damn organization, no ADOS. I ain't never, ever, 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 ever co-signed that bullshit. Never. Never, never, never. Anytime I would talk about ADOS, I'm talking about lineage. But Strappy and those dudes kept saying, "No, we the leaders. This is our group, and we the leader." No, I ain't with none of that. I ain't never been with none of that shit because it was already creating a bunch of damn confusion, and some of that confusion is still lingering now. That's why people got the mind frame of groups and organizations because of them dumbasses. And then I helped these folks get notoriety, and they ain't never had no notoriety before, and they all spazzing out because they ain't, nobody's never paid attention to them. So, I kind of created a little musty monster. And I'm like, no, no, they doing too much. It's too confusing. And they running around screaming about they're the leaders of this and the leaders of that. And Strappy talking about she everybody mama and all this dumb shit. Like, no, 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 no. No, no, no. We can't have more confusion. And then they up here telling everyone we're gonna vote down Democrat. Now they done got co-opted by the Democrats. It became a cluck. And no, we're not doing none of that. We're gonna keep this thing on lineage and lineage only. All lineage, nothing else. Ain't no groups. I ain't with no leaders. We don't need none of that. That's confusing. We're foundational Black Americans. There is no group, ain't no organization, ain't no leaders, just lineage. FBA lineage. Everything else is bullshit. All right. So we had to go ahead and make things plain, make it simple so that it won't be co opted, it won't be remixed. FBA. And that stuck because it made sense. Like our good brother Neely Fuller said, words matter. Words matter. And that's a term that people cannot remix. You understand? And it's a more powerful term. Foundational Black American is a lineage. Plus, it's land based. It's not just trauma based. Do y'all feel me? See, Foundational Black American, that ties identity to both lineage and long-standing presence on American soil, including pre-slavery Black populations. You understand? That encapsulates all of the contributions to the formation of America, not just the suffering. See, descendants of slaves, you're just talking about the suffering. You center the trauma. You understand? So a lot of people can say that they were traumatized, but everybody can't say they were foundational, though. See, that's the thing that gets everybody else out the pain. You see, any descendants of slaves, that's vague and that's easily exploited. A Caribbean is the descendants of slaves. Yeah, somebody from South America, hell, a Mexican can say that because Mexico was a slave colony. So we gotta be very, very concise with the terms. Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, they were descendants of slaves, but that has no boundary, no bearing on the American institution of slavery, nor the laws, nor the legacy, none of that stuff. So a lot of times, descendants of slaves, it can be structurally weak. It opens the door for persons of any type of African ancestry to claim reparative benefits meant for those who built the United States. And when we use FBA, that has a distinct cultural and historical identity. See, foundational Black Americans, we developed a distinct culture, dialect, cuisine, music, political legacy, social structure, born right here from our unique experiences on this soil. That includes civil rights era, Black Wall Street, this all our music genres, our spiritual essence, all of that stuff. And the immigrant groups, they can't emulate or imitate that history. You see, that's why they can claim slavery, but they can't claim foundational Black American culture without exposing themselves. You see, and the power of our lineage lies basically with the grassroots enforcement. See, it requires community acknowledgement when people come in and try to claim our lineage. We people start asking questions. Yeah, people are starting, they're asking questions, and we're doing like we used to do back in the day. Man, where you from? And where your mama from? Where your family from? We used to always ask that, family. There's a very famous meme of me that circulates around that people put up where I'm pointing, because I was doing an interview and I asked the dude, I forgot the brother's name, but he was interviewing me. We were talking about reparations, and then he was like, "Well, I don't think we should get reparations. We don't really need to get that." Well, my brother, where's your family from? No. So I said, no, no. I said, where you from? He was like, "Oh, I'm from Georgia." No, 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 no. Where's your family from? Oh, Nigeria. There we go. There we go. Yeah, my good brother, you're not qualified for it. See, we got to watch people. See, you got to watch people. We got to ask the right questions. People try to be slick. People are trying to be slick now. All right. See, when you talk about foundational Black Americans, see, you recenter power in the originators, not the opportunist. You see, when you say descendants of slaves to a certain degree, that kind of makes us passive victims of history. No, no, no. Foundational Black Americans, on the other hand, see, that defines a people who built, resisted, created, innovated, and continue to shape the core of American identity. Well, that's ownership. We're taking ownership of something. And see, that threatens outsiders who want to appropriate the suffering without acknowledging the power and the accomplishments of the damn originators. See, when we say foundational, we're forcing people you're going to recognize and respect who started this gangster shit, because that's going to be the thanks we get. You understand? When you use foundational Black Americans, you expose the motivation behind the cosplay. When somebody who is not foundational Black American get upset with the term FBA, yeah, there's a reason why they upset. You're not going to get upset about your own lineage. Usually it's some people who are undercover tethers or you sleeping with one or the other. If you get offended by the term foundational Black American, which is an accurate term, either you are a tether or you sleeping with one. And we've seen that over and over again. Ice, yeah, you kind of trolling, Ice. I don't know what you want to come up here for. Yeah, Ice, the Ice Man, whatever your name is, you coming in kind of trollish. And yeah, I don't know what you trying to do, man. You trying to get up here and you ain't really saying nothing. Rodrigo, Lord, this is Rodrigo the Tether. He's a Latino tether. Rodrigo, let me get Rodrigo in here because Rodrigo, your fellow Latino or Latina is trying to pull one of your moves, Rodrigo, trying to well, she couldn't say FBA, so she said descendants of slaves. What's up, Rodrigo?
Yeah, because descendants of slaves, you can't, like I always say, you can't deny our ethnogenesis, but you expect us to, acknowledge your ethnogenesis.
Yeah, you're a descendant of slaves in the Caribbean. Yeah.
No, 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 the United States, because technically the Taínos, they had trading posts in Florida, and my grandfather, he's FBA himself because my grandfather comes from Sanford, Florida. So
Taínos were
I'm
not
FBA. I
enslaved.
acknowledge my FBA lineage, just like you acknowledge your
You're not,
Choctaw lineage, your Cherokee lineage. I can acknowledge my FBA lineage.
Taínos weren't enslaved in Florida, Rodrigo. They were not enslaved. The Taínos were damn near all of them were wiped out pretty much. They got wiped.
No, no, no. There were trading posts in Florida that they used to come and they used to trade with the Seminoles. Everybody knows this. They used to come to the Keys.
Yeah, but they weren't enslaved and they pretty much got wiped out by the Spanish. So that's irrelevant. You're
Well,
Latino. How come you're not being a proud Latino, man?
no, 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 no. I'm not Latino. I tell you this all the time. And I had the ethnogenesis here.
No,
In the Bronx, we had our own little ethnogenesis in our
you
community.
you had an El Pollo Loco Genesis, nigga. That's what you had, an El Pollo Loco Genesis. You went and got you a
What,
taco salad, brother. You are not but be proud of your Latino heritage, Rodrigo. Okay? There's nothing wrong. I love our Latino friends. I love y'all. There's some great Latinos out there.
I love them too. My wife, she's Latina. I love Latinos,
And
but I'm not a Latino
and
personally.
is Latino. Rodrigo. All right. Yeah, you are
Some African American's name is Rodrigo. The
not
Gucci Man's name is Rodrigo, I think.
who?
Gucci Man, his real name was Rodrigo, I think.
His name is Roderick. It ain't no damn Rodrigo. Name of no
Same
guy.
thing, it's just
It
like a
ain't
Monique and Monica, it's the same thing. It's interchangeable.
no, that ain't the same thing. Roderick and Rodrigo ain't the same thing. Just like Charles and Carlos is not the same thing. It's much different.
Yeah, Louis and Luis is the same thing. Same thing.
And
But that's not what I want to
Fleet,
talk about, Tariq. I want to talk about something more serious tonight.
what is
I don't like this is what I don't like about the FBA community, our community.
not ours? Stop saying
I,
ours. Stop trying to co-opt us. Now go ahead.
oh, okay. So you know about the streamer Neon. You know how the black community, how so many people are coming out the cake for him, and he said some foul things about sisters. He's talking bad about our community, and I see so many black people coming out saying,
I
"Oh,
heard not.
you're bullying the Breakfast Club."
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'm hearing something about the Breakfast Club. What happened? What happened exactly? There was something going on with the Breakfast Club, and I know, and I'm seeing this. I just saw this earlier today. I didn't get all the gist of it.
They want to cancel the Breakfast Club because they invited this young man up here. This young man, he's one of these streamers. He has a history of saying anti-black vile things about the FBA community, and they invited him up there and they gave him that work. Just hilarious. She didn't hold back on him. Charlemagne didn't hold back on him,
Good.
and now they're saying that they're bullying this young man and they're bringing up Charlemagne's charges and just hilarious past. It's ridiculous, and I see a lot of black people. I don't want to say that they're FBA, but I see a lot of black people caping.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look into it because it's very interesting, and thank you, Rodrigo. A lot of these streamers be on that BS anyway, so I'm gonna look more into that and get the gist of what's really, really happening. All right, let's get y'all raise your hands because we are in here. I see Brother Macau down there, Nikki, Yoshi. I see everybody down there. Hey, Michelle, I see you, Sister Brooke, cousin Jerry down there. Let's get raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Let's get Django's burner. Let's get Django's burner. What's up, Mr. Django? Good Django, what's happening with you?
Yeah, I just want to touch on what he was saying about the Breakfast Club and the Neo thing. I know when you do your due diligence and research that. One thing I wanted to say about that is that it seems that the Breakfast Club, like everybody who is like either anti reparations or they're an immigrant, they always land an interview with the Breakfast Club because that African dude that bought Essence, he just had a interview on the Breakfast Club, and some of the things that he said that was concerning is that he said next year for the Essence Fest, he said, yeah, we're gonna have some more locals. So basically, they're listening to the conversations we're having, and they're gonna try to clean things up. But before I land, I just want to say again that it seems like the Breakfast Club is inviting everybody that's anti us, even though Carmela Man the God, they kind of went in on him. I'm trying to see, like, how did he even land in that seat?
Mm,
Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I want to say, man. Thank you
thank-
for having me.
yeah, I heard the dude from Essence was on the Breakfast Club. I saw just about 2 minutes of the interview, and he wasn't really talking about anything. And from what I understand, he was being very evasive with some of the questions and the answers. So, I might have to go back and circle back. But yeah, the first couple of minutes, he just literally wasn't saying nothing, just kind of talking in circles. And it's interesting to see how they're going to try to do the next Essence Fest because people are calling some of the non-FBAs out for a lot of the colonizing mindset. I talked about this the other day. A lot of them are kind of rolling up on us like colonizers. Like I said, you come in, what do colonizers do? You come in, plant the foreign flag. You come in and co-opt the culture of the natives. Then you try to lead the natives. You try to you elevate yourself or get elevated into certain positions within the native population by blending in with them. You have anchor babies with the natives. That's a real big thing. Come on, man. We got to understand when there's a soft colonizing going on. You understand? You do that. You come in and anchor children in with the natives, and then you start trying to redefine who the native population is. Just like the European colonizers. What did they do? The Spanish, they came over to Central America and said, guess what? You guys are going to speak Spanish. You all are going to speak Spanish now. And now what do you have? You got a bunch of people in so-called Latin America who claim, well, I'm Spanish. And you're not. You're not from Spain. You understand? You're not a continental Spaniard. But they ran a Jedi mind trick on them because they colonized them and forced their customs on them. You understand? What do the tether class do to us? They come over, what they say? We say, hey, no, we're foundational Black Americans. No, you're African. No, no, we're foundational Black Americans. Oh, no, nigga, you are African. They try to force us to be generic Africans. Same thing. We got to look at how colonization works, ladies and gentlemen, how subtle it is and how gradual it is. Yeah. And we think colonization just has a white face. You have people who have melanated skin, but they have the same psychological disposition of the white supremacists when they operate with us. Remember, these are some of the same people who got us caught up in the damn first place. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we just got to be very real about a lot of stuff. We got to be very honest about a lot of stuff. Let me get some more folks in here. Let's get Javen. Javen in the building, Mr. Javen. What's going on, Mr. Javen?
Oh, hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I just want to let you know. I went to Alabama A&M. I know you grew up in Birmingham.
Yes.
You from Birmingham. I've seen you 3 times. I've met Ola before. I saw you at TSU. I saw you at Atlanta. So I'm part of the original 300.
Yes.
I saw one of your books at A&M's bookstore in 2007. It's one of the first Mac books. I can't remember which one. But shout out to you. I have been following your work. I remember your first Ustream. I remember when we celebrated 500 people in the Ustream chat room. That was such a big deal. But I do want to say, I'm from Orlando, Florida. All my people, my dad's people are from Avon Park. If you know Avon Park, it's between Tampa and Orlando. My mom's people, you actually talked about in your Maroon movie in Apalachicola with Fort Negro when that fort blew up those 200 300 African slaves. Well, they weren't slaves, but they were in a fort
Yeah.
and the fort
Yeah.
blew up. Did you go to Apalachicola when you shot the Maroon video?
No,
Maroon
we were
documentary?
all around Orlando. We were all around Orlando, some parts of Jacksonville. So yeah, we were filming different places.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because if you went to Apalachicola, you went to the trenches. It's like a long forest, and it's a bridge, and it's a real small town. So I just wanted to shout out to you, sir, and then keep on doing the good work.
Man, much respect to you, brother. Yeah, we were gonna film like most of the movie down in Florida. We were gonna like go up into the wooded area, try to film like in the swampish area so we can really get the look and the vibe. And nigga, I saw an alligator down there. I said, fuck all that. Oops, we gonna just stick to filming in LA. We gonna well, okay, we're gonna find something that looks like Florida in LA, because nah, I saw a damn alligator come up out the water out there. I'm like, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, them alligators, they got alligators willy-nilly up in Florida. Nigga, alligators just be chilling, climbing fences and shit. Everybody got to cover up their swimming pool. Yeah, I'm cool in the gang. Yeah, I ain't about to be all up in these swamps and all. No, 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 no. Because yeah, we got to film in the woods, and I ain't about to be in the woods of Florida. Hell no. Just like in Louisiana, we filmed a lot down in Louisiana, but I made sure not to film around them swamps. You know, I'm not filming around them swamps. That shit gets real.
Microphone check. Microphone check.